Pranams to Puja Swamiji and all Acharyas, and Hari Om to all of you. I have read long back one of the old, I have collected some old instructions of Puja Gurudev to mission workers, and also instructions to brahmacharis, and minutes of the meeting and declarations in some brahmacharis conference which was held in long back, 88, 89, and old papers, which I didn't bring that paper, of course. Gurudev mentioned that our country, he visualized, not politically divided into districts, that's okay, part of the system, but he said spiritual districts he called. He called country should be divided, and each spiritual district that is demarcated by Puja Gurudev's vision, and as and more many workers come, probably the size of the district can be shrunken. And Gurudev said, our people, our brahmacharis and mission workers and sevaks and sevikas, in each district, they become so powerful force to interact with the people there, to become one with them, not as something separate and I am holier than thou attitude. Work with them, bring transformation in them. And that's how, if I can get so many brahmacharis and brahmacharinis and also the other sevaks and sevikas, then the country can be transformed. Now, we are struggling. One sevak only is available, two sevaks are available. So, Gurudev's vision, I would like to read about 3 letters, very important letters. Gurudev said in one of the letters, to convey the glorious news of our cultural beauty and strength to our own people who seem to have forgotten all about it, is a true missionary's serious work. Missionary's serious work. Puja Gurudev wrote a letter to me. One of the letters he wrote, work without rest, without ego, in diligence, in surrender to him, you will find your work fully rewarding. It was about youth I was studying in the college and all that. So therefore, Gurudev continues, I am glad you are all reviving your newsletter to spread the news of your seva programs. When seva is useful, help from the public always come. Let them know what you are all doing. We all talk about fund problem, So Gurudev said, when seva is useful to public, funds automatically come. So in a grand way, if you ask me what is the Gurudev's vision, he sees the whole country is what? The nation filled with all the individuals, transformed individuals, and who is awakened to the glory of our own Bharat. We visualized that every one of us should become fittest instrument in the hands of the Lord. And I would like to say one thing, in any country, if the children and youth are neglected, that country will go to dogs. It cannot be. In my entire work as a Yuva Kendra member and also as a, Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, people say normally, oh, what is the use of the whole program? 500 people attended the program. Not even 10 turned up to Yuva Kendra members. Then I would get angry. 1,000 attended yajna. How many become mission members? I would ask them. So our problem is we always turn in terms of immediate returns. That is not the possibility. I say just as we spread yajnas, continue, hold on programs for the youth and children, sowing the seeds. If not today, when the land is fertile, it will sprout. But our job is to spread. Not immediately like, invest 10 rupees and how much the profit I got. 20 people I got, how many turned towards Yuva Kendra members? That's not mean. Just go on. Gurudev went on like that. So now I would like to, I was just thinking and a beautiful thought came. All of us want to be torch bearers of our great grand culture. But the torch is limited by its size. Think. It cannot hold, a small torch cannot hold a huge battery. to throw out what do you call, a radiant, effulgent, luminous light in the society. Then how to be torch bearer? The torch is our own heart. And unless we deeply in daily meditation, as Anukulanji was mentioning, Gurudev also wrote a letter to me. When I prayed in every letter I pray, and then one of the letters, every letter I end with a prayer. So I said, Gurudev, please give me necessary qualities to continue Puja Gurudev's work. And one day he wrote that part came second page. So he drew 2 lines again, he turned the page and said, I asked, give me necessary qualities to serve Gurudev. Gurudev said, you have them. Strengthen them by regular japa and dhyan. Qualities are there in all of us. No doubt about it. If there is no wee bit of devotion towards Gurudev, none of us will be here today. So something pulled us. So therefore, how to become really a capable torch? Only by expanding our heart. The more I expand my heart in tune, in connection with Puja Gurudev, the floodlight comes from him. And we only reflect. And that light, let it spread everywhere, all over the world. So cultural transformation is absolutely important. And for which, it's not easy. Because if we are torch bearers, we must be equipped. Gurudev, just Anukulanji was mentioning, and Puja Gurudev said, study, 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 study. But then again, Gurudev also said, don't, too much of knowledge, heads are so much bloated and heart is shrunken in it. That shouldn't be my again problem. Not only dry logic without heart is dangerous. So Gurudev himself said correctly that knowledge is necessary, but heart also has to be expanded. A great master has said, one of the books I read, he said the longest journey is from the head to the heart. See, think. So therefore, Puja Gurudev, in one letter he said, to me, always he said, chicks, I restrict that, who don't study Vedanta are not chicks. It read, we viewed one letter, it read, although all our program, it read, although all my dreams are going to be fulfilled, but insist upon studies also, chicks who don't study Vedanta are not chicks. And in another letter he said, this will hold an umbrella to all the confused youth. When we said we have six chick study groups in Hyderabad, at one point of time, this is no ordinary news that we have 6 chick study groups in Hyderabad. And this will grow and hold an umbrella to all the confused youth. So for the nation to understand, there's a lot of traditions are different, languages are different, but how to integrate them? The common thread is only our culture. Traditions may vary. The beauty of unless we are equipped with that, with a great knowledge inside, and also an expanded heart to hold more and more light, which is being constantly shed by Puja Gurudev, then only we can reflect that light in the society. So, I would like to see 2-3 incidents, and I'll read a beautiful letter also in the end. Dr. Ramesh is here from Hyderabad. When he was in Gurudev was 92, 91. He came to Hyderabad for a yajna. Ramesh went to Gurudev and asked, Gurudev, we have 40 strong chicks. They are giving their full time to men, a lot of work they do. It will be good if Puja Gurudev, in the evening yajna, in the public, if Gurudev can honor them with a small gift, token, a memento. They cherish it. It will be an inspiration for them. You know what Gurudev said? I was not in the room. Gurudev Ramesh was in the room. Gurudev said, it seems, no. They are working for themselves and not for me. So sometimes that arrogance, हम working कर रहे हैं, चिन्मय में काम कर रहे हैं, गुरुदेव का वो भी पंचर हो गया. He knew how to puncture. They are working for themselves. So therefore, another important thing is, in one of the Gurudev's yajna was concluded, and then the Guru Dakshina cover will be there. No, he was reading study groups, okay, Tapon Prasad, he was reading, and he came to Yuva Kendra and he stopped, put the envelope on the again table and said, all all of you employ 2 gundas immediately. And these gundas will report you on every Sunday morning at about 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock and lift bodily your son and the daughter, bring them to your Kendra class, guard them, they should not escape. And after the class, they will again bring them back to your home. 6 months you employ these 2 gundas. After 6 months, withdraw gundas, the fellow will continue. Then the seriousness of it, you know what Puja Gurudev was telling? I mean, he was telling elders, if they don't come, employ 2 gundas. And we were laughing in roar. I mean, great laughter it was. And then I was sitting with Puja Gurudev once, in this 85, 86, and the drug started, the problem, drug menace just started, people start taking, and also hardly 2 or 3 were in the room. I was sitting at his feet, and then one lady asked Gurudev, now became a problem to the country, nation, youth, they are now taking to drugs. He said, yes, it is also a problem and we have to address it and all that. And then in the end he said, my chicks, I can guarantee, will not take. See that? So that faith in Puja Gurudev. So therefore, what is our vision for the country? He visualized spiritual districts, every village, and intelligently work, not confrontation, and slowly be with them. Can we forget our own the qualifications and the amount of knowledge that we have gathered? Can we be simple with the people around? As simple as possible. Glamourless existence. Then people will be inspired. So once everybody is awakened to the great culture of our country and see. And then therefore, Puja Gurudev, Mitranji knows about this letter. I am reading a part of it. He wrote letter to Lakshmi Reddy. She just recently passed away, a great devotee of Puja Gurudev. She was invited by some other spiritual organization. I will not name all those things. So, and she mentioned to Gurudev. See, that organization had called me, and then they are copying some of our things, by copying us in holding their programs and all that. Puja Gurudev said, reply, when we see our programs being beautifully conducted by other organizations, never try to mention that it is all inaugurated and initiated by us. This is not nice. It is for that the Chinmaya mission was conceived, formed, and run to give a lead, guide for all spiritual organizations and ashrams. They are all taking it up very beautifully, and that is as it should be. Why should you drop it on their nose? This is the vision of Gurudev. Now Anukulanji was mentioning how we are bringing books and then guiding and all that. So we must make in a nation also as an organization a prominent role. Which we are trying, of course, we are making our footprints are strong. But then we must multiply in great numbers of committed workers. And lastly, I will read, I will just read this letter and then I conclude. You will understand how Puja Gurudev worked. In the year 1988, Gurudev was not well. He was in Calcutta. Discomfort in the chest. For 2.5 hours he struggled. Then so many telegrams, trunk calls used to go there to Calcutta. Unable to bear the onslaught of all those calls, Gurudev wrote in November or December it was published, I think, 1888, in Tapon Prasad. I will read that. It has come in the book, if you open, central page mein, it was come. I will read that letter, you make out and you conclude. And whenever I read this, I become too emotional and tears will come. Just a reminder. Just a reminder. I saved this since 88, as it is removed it and then kept it. On 18th night, after my day's work at the table at 12 midnight, when I retired to the bed, suddenly I felt a gathering storm of discomfort in my chest. I started feeling choked. Soon it gathered a harnessing its own, and with a noisy whizzing, my mind started protesting the vast atmospheric air is not sufficient for it. Started walking about, sitting on the chair. That posture is more comfortable and rewarding, but very tired and so anxious to sleep, yet cannot be because of this great, cannot lie down because of this great discomfort. Thus spent 2.5 hours. At 2:30 a.m., suddenly I felt relieved completely. It left me as mysteriously as it came. On 19th morning, Dr. Chedda, Swami's own doctor, who has checked him up all these 10-15 years, came. He took an ECG and X-ray of the lungs. He has prescribed extra pills to be taken within inverted commas all the time, till I get away from this theater of work. The final diagnosis is a temporary failure of the left ventricle. Therefore, heart's pumping was not efficient. Fluids found a low-lying land, I suppose, an empty space to fill up the lungs. How it revived is a mystery. I think it was a secretarial mistake up above. They corrected their mistake in 2.5 hours your time, which can be only a moment in their measure of time. Anyway, on 19th, I was able to hold question and session for in Calcutta teenagers, 10 to 11:30 a.m., and carry on my routine cheerfully, and on 20th morning by train left for Jamshedpur. I am feeling no discomfort, only perhaps a little weak in the limbs. That is because of lakhs pills, for which some potassium replacement is being taken regularly. This is the punchline. A unique drama, just to remind me that it is time to pack up and leave after a full life of good and satisfying service to the rishis. That is Gurudev. Just a reminder. This sentence really makes me, satisfying a unique drama, just to remind me that it is time to pack up and leave after a full life of good and satisfying service to the rishis. That was his vision. That must be our vision now. And personally I feel, you may not like it, I like it, doesn't matter. Simply reveling in the memories of Puja Gurudev doesn't take us anywhere. मैंने उधर गया, चाय पिया, उधर गया, मार खाया, इधर गया, वो लिया. This is all, it's okay, fine. Those memories are to be translated into dedicated work to revive the country. I hope we will do that. Thank you.